Ladies and gentlemen, as you guys know, Season 3 Reloaded has officially been here for about a day now, and with it, like every season, we got a brand new raid. As far as this raid goes, we have a couple of interesting new puzzles and mechanics, just like every raid brings. So yesterday I made a video where we played through the entire thing. It's about an hour long, and it shows me going through all of the individual puzzles. Well, after I make those videos, I like to go back and put together a comprehensive guide to help you guys through the raid, going through each individual section and puzzle. That way you can kind of take this video, share it with your squad mates, and get through the raid as easily as possible. Whether you're playing on veteran or regular, this should help you complete all of the puzzles and get past all of the sections very, very easily. So that's what we're going to be doing today, a full comprehensive guide on the easiest way to get through Raid Episode 3. Now, before we do, I just wanted to tell you about Gamer Advantage, the glasses that I wear in most of my videos. You may have seen them before, but they protect your eyes, they make you sleep better, they make you game a little bit better because your eyes aren't squinty and red and hurting all of the time while you're playing. If you want to get yourself a pair, you can click the link down in the description, and if you use code INK at checkout, you get yourself 10% off your order. But without further ado, let's dive into the full Raid Episode 3 guide. So before you even get into the raid, the first thing you're going to want to look at is what kit you are going to be using. This is pretty self-explanatory, and this is the advice that I've given in every single raid that we have seen so far. Whoever you're playing with, whoever your squad mates are, everyone just use Assault. It is so important to have all of those armor plates that you can just throw on the ground that regenerate over and over again. It is by far the most important thing, so just don't even second guess yourself. It doesn't matter what tier you have these leveled up to. Just use Assault, everyone. So as far as this raid begins, essentially the first section of it is getting to the elevator. And this, you're just going to be going through some tunnels, fighting some soldiers here or there. A couple of new things with this raid, however, is you can now choose your loadouts. There's really nothing specific you need for this one. You don't need to be sneaky or anything like that. Just use whatever weapons are best for you. If you like a thermal scope to be able to see people better, throw that on there. But basically, whatever guns you like using, choose a bigger magazine. Those are the best tips I can give you. But in this first section, your first event is to get to the elevator. So once you get to the elevator, the first thing you're going to do is call it up. So it is at the bottom. You are trying to get to the bottom, but you need the elevator to come all the way up. So you press the button, which brings the elevator up. Pro tip, you can miss the elevator. I told you.
This one, I knew.
So through this next section, essentially, as you get on the elevator, it slowly moves down. Eventually, you're going to get to a section where it stops. When it does so, you have to go over and jump to the other side. And inside that area, there's going to be another button that restarts the elevator. There's a couple of puzzles throughout here, one of which you find a buzzsaw. And when you get that buzzsaw, you have to crack open a door. So cut through the door while enemies are attacking you. Essentially, one person cuts through it. The other two are defending that one teammate. This is something that will come back closer towards the end of the raid. But throughout these sections, it's going to stop a couple of times. You go through, you kill enemies, you turn the elevator back on, and you jump back on the elevator, and you work your way all the way to the bottom. This place is probably the easiest section of the raid. There's not too many enemies to fight, and I think there's one juggernaut that you have to fight through within this area. So once you are at the bottom of the elevator, the next little section that you go through are some subway tunnels. This part's pretty easy. You fight some enemies, but when you get to one point, there is going to be some tripwires. Now, remember how I said to use the assault package? The reason for that is because the way we're going to get through these tripwires is you're going to take one of your teammates and just have them run as fast as they can through all of these. And even when they are downed, tell them to keep crawling until all of the tripwires are chipped and they are dead. You just then run in and revive them, throw one of your boxes down, and they can be fully healed.
So we just run through it, right?
There might be a way.
Ow.
Hold on. Got it. Clear.
Nice.
The next section / puzzle that we're going to get to is we're going to call the trolley issue. So with this one, essentially, you're going to find this yellow trolley, press the button to use it once, you will grab it, and then you're going to move this thing. One person is going to have to hold open the door. So there's this button on the wall. You press that button, hold it open, and then bring it over to the little area that you have to crawl through. Again, this is something that'll come back later on. This next section is the hardest section out of the entire raid. We're going to call it the water room. So essentially, you get to this room and it is pitch black. The ground is covered in water and there's a bunch of enemies that you have to fight through. Your first objective is to get to the other end of the room. So you fight your way through. Once you get there, there's going to be a way that you can turn on the power. So once you turn on the power, all of the water that is on the ground is now electrified. So to get across from one area to the other, you have to jump on top of the various different computers and filing cabinets that are throughout the room. Now, scattered throughout this room are 10 different computer terminals. When you go to one of those computer terminals, there's going to be a set of numbers that you can see there. You have to go to the corresponding terminals in the correct order, pressing the buttons with the number sequence. So there's a couple of tricks for this one. So you'll see in the video that you're seeing here, I'm at number 8. So that is the first button that we have to press. Once you press a button, you have 10 seconds to press the next number in the sequence. Now, as far as where you can find the various different numbers, if I'm at 8, if you go around the room clockwise, so in other words, the next terminal on my right is going to be number 9, and then 0, and then 1 around the room. Essentially, what you're going to do is each member of your team is going to take about 4 numbers. You're going to talk to each other before you go through pressing the buttons, and you're going to say which numbers you're going to go to in which order. Now, once you press a button, you're going to hear a countdown. It's going to beep every single second. When you get to the 8th second, it's going to beep twice. That is when you're going to aim to press the button, and then you are going to move to your correct next number. Now, that doesn't mean the next number in the sequence. It just means the next number in your vicinity that you are splitting up with your team. So for example, when we were playing, I was number 7, 8, 9, and 0. Jordan was 1, 2, 3, and 4, and Lazy was 5, 6, and 7. But at one point, Jordan wasn't able to get to number 4, so Lazy had to make his way there because there was too many 2s and 3s in a row. So just have that discussion with your team, know what ones you are going to, and in between each one, you have 10 seconds. That is the easiest way to do so, and divide it up.
All right, so then I'm going down to 3.
Okay, got it.
Yep. I'm at 6.
Okay, let's wait for Jordan to get to 3 because he's got to do 3 too.
Yeah, you're good. I'm here.
All right, pressing it.
6. Use the next terminal. 3.
Go to 2, Jordan.
Yeah.
Lazy, you're at 4.
I gotta run to 4.
Keep it moving.
You got it, Jordan? Okay, Jordan, you go back to 3.
Yep.
Lazy, you wait for the double beep on 4.
Yep, I just got here.
4.
All right, you're good.
You're at 3, Jordan.
Yep.
You got to get to 2. Lazy, you go to 7 now.
I'm trying to run to 7 right now.
You got lots of time.
2.
Oh,
All right, we're good.
let me know when you're there, Lazy. I'm here.
You can press it. I'm here. All right.
Code accepted.
Yay!
Hey! This next section is pretty straightforward. Essentially, you're going to fight your way through some juggernauts, through some characters, and eventually you're going to get to this dark room with a bunch of pipes, and once again, you're going to find another one of those trolleys. Now, this one is a little bit different. You have to get the trolley through a door. There is one button on one side of a door and another button on the other side of the door. Essentially, you're going to send one of your teammates through the crawl space, and they're going to press the buttons at the same time, and then one teammate is going to bring the trolley all the way through to the other side. Once you do, you're going to hop up on that trolley, climb all the way up to the top. You're going to find a vent where there's some flames coming out of it. Do not run into the flames.
Watch your toesies.
Oh! Guys?
Watch your toesies.
So once you make your way through the very deadly flames, there's going to be a ton of tripwires on the ground and a bunch of crates that you have to jump on top of. If you follow the path that you see here, it is very straightforward. Just don't fall. If you fall, the entire room blows up and you got to go back and do the previous part. So just try to stay alive. It's a pretty easy jumpy puzzle. I'm horrible at these things and I could do it, so I'm sure you can too. So once you get to the room with the submarine in the water, you are almost done the raid. You have one more puzzle and one more fight to do. The first puzzle we have to do, we have to raise the water. So there's a couple of pressure vents that you have to get to. Again, you're going to go through a room. You got to hold the button. You got to bring the trolley all the way out, and then you're going to jump through. All 3 people need to jump over, and this is going to kind of teach you the next puzzle. There are 2 different valves that you have to turn, and there's also a terminal. You turn the valve until your green light turns green, and when it does so, you have to keep the valve within that pressure range. So essentially the way to do this is turn the valve until the light turns green, and then let go of the button to turn the valve. It'll go down and back up, and you need to get both of the valves within a decent pressure range, and then the third person pushes the button and the water level raises. You have to do this one more time, except this time everyone is going to be separated. You once again have to move that trolley over to one valve, where the other valve is found underneath the water on the opposite opposite side. This time your teammates aren't going to be able to see when the lights turn green, so you have to let them know. And when they do turn green, same thing, let go of the valve. When the light turns off, tell them to turn it again. And then once both are in the proper pressure range, you push the button, once again, raising the water. Once this water is raised, you can then get access to essentially a power room. You're going to turn on the power and then you are going to be able to control the crane. What you are going to do with this crane is it's on the right-hand side. You are going to move it all the way over to the left. When you do so, you can then climb up the ladder, jump into the room and grab a breach charge. Keep in mind, while all of this is going on, there's enemies spawning. So just make sure you take them out. They don't spawn forever. So just take them out and then continue on with what you're doing. Once you place the breach charge, it blows up. You are then able to get on top of the scaffolding. There you go. The puzzle is done. We now move on to the final fight. So this part is actually relatively simple. There's essentially 3 sections to this fight. Each of them involve you opening and cutting through a door. So once you get up on top of the scaffolding, you can pick up another buzzsaw. One of your teammates is going to be cutting through doors. The other 2 is going to be eliminating enemies. The first door is very easy. Enemies spawn outside with you. Once you get into there, enemies are going to spawn to the person's cutting left and inside the door. Just basically keep everyone together and you'll be able to do this really easily. The last section is the hardest. You go down the stairs and then you're going to cut through the door. A bunch of enemies are spawning while you do so. Again, just have your teammates fighting with you. However, when you cut through the door, 2 juggernauts are going to spawn. The easiest way to deal with these juggernauts is actually run backwards up the stairs, and when you do so, there is an ammunition stock outside the door. You can just go to that and keep retrieving more and more grenades and throwing it down the stairs at the juggernauts until you take them out. They will chase you eventually, but this is the easiest way to do so. You can pick up armor, you can pick up ammo in that area, and just be fully stocked at all times. Once you kill these guys, congratulations, you have completed the raid. So hopefully I made that plain and simple for you guys. There's a couple of tricky puzzles and sections within there, but hopefully I explained it well for you guys. And if I did, if I helped you out, it's always appreciated if you hit that like button. If you want to stay up to date on my videos, make sure you subscribe, turn notifications on. You want some glasses? Check out the link in the description. And as always, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars.